not totally organized and cleaned up yet. Got my little air purifier going. Hello. Good morning. I actually put this shirt on just because I needed to take off my pajamas, as some of my bar regulars and friends are bringing over a dresser for me, and I was like, maybe not wear your bootiest of all booty shorts for them to come over, because it looks like you are wearing barely even any underwear. So I put this on, and it actually, aligns perfect with the video I'm taking. Welcome, beautiful people. I realize this is my first actual video I will have taken since I cut my hair, as well as since I moved into my brand new apartment. And I have to add, my first apartment that I have had all to myself, that I am paying all by myself, completely self sufficiently. And oh my goodness. Honestly, I thought that I was gonna cry like hella hard, like happy tears, just like, oh, just pure satisfaction and just like extreme gratefulness. Like, because I'm a very emotional person. I cry happy tears, I cry sad tears. I have been in here for 4 days and it just feels so normal. It just feels so normal, and I feel so content and at place and at peace. Okay, now I feel like I'm gonna cry. That I haven't cried. I will say a couple nights ago I cried a little bit about something else going on and it just passed through me real fast, but I feel like it has just been so easy moving into this, I want to say, oneness with myself. That's what pops into my head, but into this certain state of belonging in my own space and solitude, like having this while being self-sufficient. And I want to add to that, that almost everything that I have brought into this house, other than everything that I already owned, which all of that fit into my forerunner because I lived out of there for 5.5 years. Everything else that I have been given, which is at this point the majority of the things that I own now, which can no longer just fit into my forerunner, were all gifted to me. And I have just been massively blessed with this move. My customers at the bar, my friends and acquaintances here have just blessed me so massively, including my landlady. She has also given me a bunch of furniture, and just, it is such a good deal that I have for this place. I have never uh, heard of anybody honestly getting a better deal than what I have for this. And then you add to the fact that it's 2 bedrooms, and people are like, whoa, extra, way more shocked. And but yeah, guys, I think this is my third or fourth, I think this is my fourth morning here. And I am so exhausted. It is almost 2 o'clock, and it was so hard for me to get myself out of bed. Last night, I came home. Yesterday was my day off. I worked tonight at 6 p.m. And last night, I got home from running all around the place all day, like I have been for basically 2 fucking weeks at this point, just preparing for this move in. Last night I got back home, and I was expecting that, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just be up on my phone till like a certain time until I fall asleep. It was 11 p.m., which, because of my work schedule, is a very early time for me to actually fall asleep nowadays. And I just put on these solfeggio frequencies. If you're interested, I will put a link to that in the description, and it's all nine for sleep. It was 8 or 9 hours long, and I just started to play them, and I haven't been listening to healing frequencies as often. I've just been all over the place, guys, and I don't want to just use that as an excuse for not participating in my self-care. I have barely been doing yoga. I have barely been doing any form of exercise because I've been so exhausted. I have been doing my best to eat healthy, but even that has fallen off just because of the crazy chaos in my life. But I have been taking care of myself to the best of my abilities, and that is kind of what the purpose of this video is right now, is talking about how I'm having to give myself a certain amount of leniency and compassion with whatever I'm able to give right now, with whatever I'm able to do right now, because what I'm creating in my life is such a massive change than I thought that I would ever be able to do at this point in my life. Perhaps you've watched my videos where I've talked about this before, that I did not think, and I made a video about this last year when I was in Salt Lake City, and perhaps I didn't share in detail about this presumption of myself, but I didn't think that I would be able to honestly work another full time real person job ever again in my life. Here I am in a job that I love in Arizona doing it. I also did not think that I would be able to have my own living space, like apartment or home, um, till I was at least like 40. To be honest, that was the limit. That was the timeline that I put on my capabilities of creating that in my life. I'm 30 years old, guys. This is literally like a little over 6 months since I made that presumption, and I am living in my own apartment. I'm doing all of that shit that I did not think that I was capable of achieving, and fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. At the same time, I am ridiculously exhausted right now. This is a lot, and I realize that to some people this is not a lot, because I also realize that a lot of people are workaholics. They're constantly on the grind, practically 24/7. That is not a life for me. And I have a lot of respect for people who do that. If you do thrive in that, a lot of people do not thrive in that yet still do it. I personally know that I do not thrive in that, and I do not want to do that. So, in this mode of being that I've been in over the past couple weeks of just constantly going and going and going and being exhausted and constantly on the edge of crying from that exhaustion, which I have quite a few times, where I just was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I'm doing it, but I don't want to do this. And I did it. Fuck yeah, badass. I feel like honestly, I'm giving myself, even at this point, a couple weeks for it to fully calm down, because my apartment is still not completely organized. I am just now, 4 days in, really leaning into letting my body rest. Like last night, I fell asleep at 11. I probably woke up at like 2 or 3 hours later, and I found it very difficult to fall asleep. And I was honestly very upset about that, because I was like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, what the hell? I have been sleeping badly for months for a variety of reasons. While I'm very grateful for the last place that I lived, it was an east facing window directly into my room, and it would beat the sun in hot as fuck as soon as it would rise. And just, I ended up putting one of those window things for your car to keep the heat and the sun out. I ended up putting that in my window, and it would still wake me up every single morning. I work till very late hours generally every other week in my job, and it was just, I lived there for about a month and a half, and I never slept good before that. I was living back in my car for about a month, and I was not sleeping good. And it has just been like really rough. And last night when I woke up, I was disappointed. I was upset, but I was like, you know what? If I can't sleep tonight, and this is something that I kind of like had worked myself through some months ago in the first house that I lived in for about a month in the beginning of the year, where I was having such severe insomnia that I probably slept about, I don't know, 7 to 10 hours over 2 weeks. It was extreme, and it was like, it was really bad, guys. And I ended up getting vitamins and working on balancing my hormones. And I also just reached a place of being like, you know what? If I can't sleep right now, I can't fight it. I can't force myself to fall asleep, obviously. I'm taking magnesium, I'm taking melatonin, I'm doing all of these things, I'm listening to sleep frequencies. If my body is literally refusing to fall asleep, I might as well just lean into it. And I started doing energy healing on myself at night instead of just sitting in my bed with my eyes closed and my eye mask on for 8 to 10 hours, just being fucking upset over the fact that I'm not falling asleep, which is kind of exasperating the stress. And I just leaned into it and I ended up falling asleep. So I kind of did that same thing last night where I was upset and then I was like, you know what? I can't force this. So I'm just gonna lean into it and I'm gonna be okay with if I end up just being awake all night long again. I'm just gonna accept it and it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay. And I ended up falling asleep and I slept till one. I did wake up a little bit here or there, but my body was just so exhausted from lack of sleep and running around so much over the past couple weeks that it would just like yank me back in. And even at 1 o'clock, it was so hard to force myself to get up, but I was like, shit, dude, like I have shit I have to do today too, even before work. So that go 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 is still not necessarily stopping. I'm not overworking myself. I would say I have been a little bit at certain times, but at this point it's just like, okay, I'm not done. I'm not done with this moving. I'm not done with the things that I have to complete to, I don't know, whatever the fuck. So here I am eating. Oh my god, such a delicious breakfast. Mm. Got some like eggs, a few eggs, cheese, tomatoes, onion, and this salad mix and garlic. A bunch of this was actually given to me by one of my friends who he's a traveling contractor and he had a bunch of shit in his fridge because he was leaving this morning. He gave me a bunch of groceries. And it was just like sometimes sometimes it's like in the overwhelm, I'm just like given all these tiny blessings from the universe of like things that I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to go shopping for some more food because the stuff that's in my fridge is a little bit more difficult to cook. And like, he ended up giving me all these frozen food things. And as much as that's not what I like to eat all the time, I try to eat a very healthy, more by scratch diet. Right now, I am superiorly grateful for that. It was exactly what I needed, and it all came from him leaving and just blessing me with all this shit. Oh my god. Guys, I just have to say that even in the stress and the chaos of all of this, I am just so fucking grateful. And like, I found myself slipping into a little bit of a lethargy last night, which I would kind of describe like lethargy often as a form of almost like melancholy dissatisfaction, where it's just like, I don't know, that's my best description to how it feels. And I noticed myself slipping into it and just like kind of entering this like, oh, but I don't have that. And and then I stopped that and then I was just kind of like, uh, hmm, hmm. And I feel like it honestly came from exhaustion. I think it came from exhaustion where my brain was just like, we don't really know what to think about right now, but we feel like we should be thinking about something and thinking about the next thing we have to do. But then my body and my brain also were like, no, we don't want to do that. That doesn't sound so fun. Why would we do that? And then I realized what I was kind of doing, and I was like, what the hell, dude? This is my house? God, thank you. What a fucking blessing. Ah, yeah. Oh man. I'm letting myself move slowly this morning, and I am been like kind of like constantly trying to remind myself that I do not need to rush. While yes, there's a lot on my plate and there's a lot that I have to do, I also do not need to spend my time in relaxation thinking about everything else outside of that moment. So it has been teaching me more deeply presence and at least reminding me to stay in that present state so I'm not wrapping myself up in everything else I still have to do and becoming this stress ball, which has honestly over the past like 5 months been kind of in and out of that state pretty intensely. But I will find that like I will have these thoughts of I feel like there was like a giant piece of green in my teeth. Not that that wouldn't be like super silly if it covered one of my teeth. And it's like, oh, look at me, I'm so cute, I have a missing tooth. Just fun fact, I think that when people have like missing front tooths, it is like the cutest fucking thing. And I know that it's such an insecurity from a lot of people. And maybe it comes from hanging out with like gypsies and nomads and street kids for so long that it was just like I love it. I think if you're watching this and you have a missing tooth, you're beautiful and adorable. I told you so. Oh man, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Oh yeah, but I'll find myself having these thoughts pop into my mind. Um and I think that oftentimes like when people think about you, you think about them, or when people think about certain situations with you, your consciousnesses are rubbing up against each other. And also like when you wake up, your consciousness is in the state of, especially if it's become a habit to think about all the things that you have to achieve and do that day. Also at night, I honestly think that at night it can be one of the toughest times to deal with that, which is why last night, instead of being on my phone before bed, I just let myself listen to these frequencies. And every time that I started to go on my phone onto Pinterest or scrolling on YouTube, I was like, hell no, dude, this just not, I don't know. My body just says, no, we want silence, we want healing sounds, we want peace right now. We want anything that is going to calm your nervous system, not things that are going to stimulate it. So I find when those thoughts start to pop up, I just kind of get like, hell no, get the fuck out of my space. Not right now. I will deal with this when it enters into my life, but I'm not going to deal with this while I'm laying in bed and relaxing and allowing myself the rest that I fucking deserve. And it actually works pretty well. I know that there are, I mean, perhaps you have a different way of moving through that. Some people will say that there are personal ways of achieving that peace, and presence is the correct way because perhaps you learned it from some guru who told you that that is the only way. But there are many ways. I have definitely been the person who's like, let it pass through you. Like, don't fight it. Just like let it be. And there are times when that works very well. And there are also other times when I am like, I cut all fucking energetic cords to this. Fuck that shit. You are not coming up in my space. Hail to the fucking no. So, honestly, whatever works for you at the time, I think that there is a place and a season for everything, whether it is more of a gentle movement through such things or more of a no to the hail, not today, Satan, get back. So if I sound like I'm a little sick, it's because I wouldn't say that I'm sick anymore. I'm just very phlegmy. A couple weeks ago, I came into the apartment to start cleaning it and dusting it, and it wasn't anything too extensive, but I wanted to just make it kind of like perfect for myself. And I didn't wear a mask, and I am very allergic to dusts and mold in the air, which just because there's mold in the air does not mean that you have a mold problem. It's a very normal thing. But dusting and cleaning everything kicked all that up, and I ended up making myself really fucking sick. Like really fucking sick for like a week. And over the past week, it's just been like very phlegmy, runny nose, a little cough. And I ended up getting a respirator mask and goggles to clean the rest of my place, and it actually did help immensely. But yeah, it's just been it's been a little bit intensely chaotic, even being able to move myself in here. And I think it was Saturday, I was like, I'm exhausted. It's my first day off. I've been constantly moving basically for the past 2 weeks, but I am not going to wait another fucking day to be moved into my apartment. And I just was like, you know what? I'm doing this shit. I asked one of my friends to come and help me clean. Oh my God, she was such a godsend. She helped so much. And then I asked another friend to help me with the actual moving in process, even though Sharice, in a perfect physical, unsick state, would have been just fine doing that by herself. It definitely reminded me that it's okay to ask for help sometimes. And successfully, I got my apartment finished cleaning on Saturday as well as finished moving in. And it has still been very go go because on Sunday I had a bunch of dishes and shit that I was gifted that I still needed to clean and organizing, and I still haven't finished it, but you know what? I am allowing myself at this point that like the majority of everything is done. The backyard has been cleared out. Um Over half of my stuff is organized and put away. At this point, I am kind of waiting for some more furniture to arrive to finish organizing some of the other things that I have. Today, I will be moving in my bed frame, which my boss is giving me, as well as it has a bed that I will put my current bed on top of. And as for the dishes, which I have a little pile over there left to do, I will be doing that little by little, as well as cleaning my little lazy boy chair, which is very dusty, with a carpet cleaner that my boss is letting me borrow. But little by little, guys, this has just been magical and amazing, and I am just like crazy proud of myself. And I know that a lot of people in my life are also crazy proud of me. I'm just gonna move this. And I feel just beyond grateful. Here I go. I knew I was gonna cry at some point. I just feel beyond grateful to like have this sanctuary because this is something that I had given up on being able to achieve for myself. And it turns out that I just was not believing in myself enough, I guess. Which also shows that even if you don't believe in yourself completely, even if you can't, even if you're not envisioning like a lot of these new age beliefs and old age beliefs and these spiritual gurus and teachers and life coaches and all of that stuff is telling you like you have to feel it, you have to believe it, you have to be able to, you have to envision it for it to happen. And I just want to say that that's bullshit, and I'm here proving it. Like, perhaps that is a method, and I want to say that there are many methods for this. Like I said earlier in this video, there are many methods to achieve what you want to achieve in life. And if you feel discouraged because a method that somebody is teaching that you're listening to or learning from, if you're discouraged because that doesn't work for you, there is another method that works for you. I personally have incorporated over the past year, rather than a method of envisioning and feeling and believing, which I do also absolutely incorporate that in times. My biggest method of achieving and manifesting all of this, all of my dreams, has been in a constant state of surrender. Surrender, honestly, and even at times, a little bit of a lack of faith. And I've made videos about this before, that even if you don't believe that it can happen for you, that it can. So I think that a lot of people need to hear that, because I, even at times, have been very, very, very discouraged, especially when you're in a place of just feeling hopeless and overwhelmed, and just like you can't see it and you can't feel it at that time. And it's like all these teachers are telling you, well, you have to. Tough luck, bud. If you're negative, you're not going to achieve these things. You can be blessed no matter what state you're in, no matter the state of faith that you have. And I honestly have found that at times when I have been lacking in faith and the universe has blessed me, have been the biggest encouragers to rebuilding my faith in myself as well as the universe to bless me. But I will also say this, and gratefulness, and I'm not talking 24/7 gratefulness, toxic positivity, but gratefulness, extending gratefulness for what I feel capable of being grateful for in that moment, even during the chaos and the destruction and the upheaval and the stress. I don't think that gratefulness is necessarily just what made those things happen. Because I was grateful, the universe decided, hell yeah, I will bless this grateful soul. Yes, absolutely. I do think that that might be a portion of it. But to be honest, I think that choosing to be grateful isn't just, oh, okay, because you're grateful, the universe will bless you. Choosing to be grateful means that is you encouraging yourself to not give up. Sometimes you need gratefulness not just to prove that you're worthy. Sometimes you need gratefulness so you don't give up on yourself and so you don't give up on life. So, mm. We all have times when we're ungrateful. We all have times when we want to give up on life. Maybe not everybody. I know that I've been very honest with my channel about my issues with suicidal thoughts and tendencies and depression, anxiety. We all have times that life fucking sucks. And maybe that doesn't mean that everything in your life sucks. Maybe there is a silver lining or there is something. I want to say that usually there is something that you can be grateful for, but I also do not know what you are going through. And I don't really like to make blanket statements as if that will apply to everybody because I don't know. There's a lot of experiences in life that I have not lived through. And I think that there is a lot of people who have been through a lot worse in life. At the same time, I have been through a lot worse in life than some people. And this isn't about comparing yourself to others. If anything, this is kind of about allowing yourself to have your unique way to create in your life. And I've also said this in other videos that sometimes you can get a little wrapped up, and I mean myself as well, that there was a period in my life when I had to stop reading the self-help books and the books on spirituality, on how to make money, on how to do all these things, and watching all those videos, gurus, spiritual teachers, psychologists, theologists. I had to stop because I realized that everything that I was learning didn't seem to directly apply to me anymore, and I had to find my own path. I had to find my own way of existing and believing, and while having those great teachers is phenomenal to encourage your growth and to encourage your own self-concept and ideas and help build your way of being and creating, I personally do not think that we should rely completely on that. Um, and I don't think that anybody should believe that if they found a method that works for them, that they should push that method on everybody else and say that that is the perfect method and then continue to degrade other people's methods of existing and creating. You can figure that out, guys. You can figure out what works for you. And yeah, yeah, I guess this is probably it. My friends have still not arrived with my dresser, but I have a feeling that they will be arriving at any moment. And even if not, I am actually sweating balls right now, and I think that I should probably change out of these very warm yoga pants because I put them on because I have not done my laundry yet. One step at a time, y'all. I am at this point just being like, well, you know what? I have a shower. I'm going to use what I can because I have plenty of other choices, even though they are not my usual go tos. And, I love you guys and I believe in you. Um, I'm so excited to be sharing another video. Please do like and subscribe. If you are new here, welcome. I know people usually say this at the beginning of the video, but I guess it's a big welcome. If anybody is new here and they've made it to the end, that you're probably actually going to be along for my journey. So I'm excited about that. And if you are not new here, thanks for being here as well through my crazy and chaotic journey. And I love connecting with you guys. As weird as it is to some people, because I have had some people, oh my goodness, say the weirdest things to me about even having a YouTube channel. And I don't know. I'm grateful to be here and I love the fact that I have a YouTube channel. I think that it has been one of the most powerful healing tools for me beyond my healing journey into my psychological healing and just everything, learning how to be more confident and well spoken. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. At this point I'm like, oh my god, it's been so long since I made a video. I don't want to stop talking. Fucking weirdo. All right, you guys. Hopefully this is actually recording because there has been a few times recently where I was not, and this is like 30 minutes long, but that would suck. But anyway, I love you guys, and I believe in you, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing, beautiful day.